Last day of November. Friday. Looks like they're changing teams a little bit. Ted and Ben being swapped. Oh, there's no wind, no nothing. Oh, crap. Great. Perfect day to be sick. I should be out there, but not today. And there's the pole. And he lukes it. Good job, Clint. Ted takes it in. Dumps it to Clint. Or not to Clint, to Creighton, who passes up to Jeff, who just can't catch today, apparently. Devin over to Luke. Luke over to Clint. Clint misthrows it. Scott to Bruce. Bruce to Jeff. Jeff over to Creighton. And it's totally fuzzed out. Who passes it off to... Oh, come on. Go. And for the score. Okay, here we go. Darn phone. There's the disc. Jeff has it, passes over to Bruce. Bruce flings it up to Scott, who stops, snags it. Oh! I don't know who that was. That's to Robbie. Robbie just can't get a hold of it. Again. There we go. Now back to Robbie. Oh, darn. That had floated just a little bit more. Creighton, you would have had that. Oh. There goes Clint for the long bomb. Oh, Clint! Those cherries must be real sour after that. Bruce takes it at the corner. Bruce goes to Devin. No, to Scott. All the way over. Scott to Jeff. Jeff looks. Oh. Whoa. Gonna go for a long bomb out to Bruce, but defense got in the way. No one's thrown anything good today. Good catches though. Still no score. Scott has it over to Jeff. Jeff to Creighton. Creighton up to Bruce. Bruce looking. Creighton over there. Looks like Chase was going for a side run. Jeff all the way over, and looks like Clint got to that just before. Foul's called. Contested foul. Back to Jeff. Disc is tapped in. Bruce looking to cut. Jeff back over to Creighton. Oh, Creighton goes for the Bruce. But Bruce just doesn't have the height for it. to remember to turn the camera. Luke passes to... Who is that? That Rambo? Rambo. Yeah. Rambo goes to Devin. Devin back to Clint. Clint over to Luke, who just barely gets it. Luke to Ben. I don't know why my camera's fuzzing out, but drops it. Ted taps it in. Ted to Bruce. Bruce over to Scott. Scott looking long. Goes short to Ted. Ted gives it to Scott. Scott's gonna go to Jeff. Nope. No Jeff. Chase gets it. Chase back to Jeff. There we go. Chase going for that deep. Nope. Jeff crosses it over to Creighton, who gets it, and he's asking, is he in? And passes it to Scott. Here we go. Scott pulls. Devin picks it up. Devin to Clint. Clint back to Devin. Devin up to Ben. Up to Rachel. Rachel grabs it. Rachel back to Clint. Clint looking deep. Ted for the defense. Doesn't get to it. Rachel snags it. Brings it down. Tosses it over to... Oh! To Rambo, who misses it. Ben almost picks up the slack. Oh, Ben died. And Jeff throws it to the ground. Ben finally gets up. And something else happened. Throw it to the ground again. Oh, Jeff, yep, flicks it up to Scott for the score. Jeff for the disc. Flicks it. Devin to get the disc back. Tries to go long, just can't quite get to it. I guess because it's so dreary outside, it's lighter inside than outside, and so we get the weird reflection, and that's why the camera's fuzzing. Scott to Scott. Scott over to Chase. Chase over to Creighton. Creighton looking deep, looks for the Bruce cut, and Ben knocks it down with authority. Luke picks it up. Oh, lightning. Luke over to Rambo. Rambo going long to Scott. Scott gets it. Scott passes up to Jeff. Jeff looks, fakes, and here's the other Scott, and nope. Just puts it on the fence. Devin takes it at the line. Devin crossfields it over to Luke. Wow. Luke passes up to Rambo. There we go. Here comes the sun. Dee-dee-dee-dee. That's better. Maybe. Devin Hucks. Creighton, whoa. Jeff with the snag. Jeff sides it over Ted. Ted over to Creighton. Creighton looking again for the Bruce. Oh, goes up and over. Ho 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 ho. Jeff was gonna try and get it, but lets it go to Scott. And the sun goes behind clouds again. Here we go. Scott to Huck. And they switch Chase for Rachel. I don't know if that was the problem. But we'll see how it goes. And Scott hucks it. Ben comes down with it, Ben up to Clint. Clint sides it to Luke. Luke looking for a throw over to Clint. Clint back to Luke. Luke up to Devin. Devin looking for a quick one, doesn't get a quick one. Over to... Oh, Clint. It was right there. It was right there. Bruce to Ted. Ted looking over to Jeff. Jeff over to Scott. Super Scott. Scott up to Rachel. Oof. Doesn't quite come down with it. Ben pick up the disc. Ben over to Luke. Luke to Devin. Devin flicks. Oh. Looking for the Devin-Clint connection, but not today. 2 or 3 that just did not connect. Scott up to Rachel. Rachel over to Scott. Super Scott. Scott hammers it to Jeff. Jeff looking for that corner. Oh, yeah, to Bruce. Nice. Jeff looking to Huck. Here they go. Nope. Okay. Yep. And here we go. Clint to start the disc. Oh, what was that? Let's just throw it on the ground. Just throw it. Jeff to throw. Devin cuts off the lane. Jeff up to Super Scott. Super Scott looking for Scott. No. Chase blocks it off. Super Scott over to the Ted man. Oh, Luke just could not get to the disc. Nice read, Ted. Nice patience, too. Ted hucks. Rambo to come down with it. Rambo up to Devin, but misses to Ben. Ben fakes to Devin, tosses up to Clint instead, and travel? I'm gonna guess. As he jumped. Tries again. And walks off the field. Okay. No, not off the field. I don't know what's going on. Clint fakes a hammer over to Devin. Devin goes up for the Clint connection, and he finally gets it. Or does he? Oof, that was painful. Oh, something happened. I unfortunately missed it because I looked at the camera. That might be it for the day. Ouch. I'll have to go rewatch that. Sorry, Clint. Hope you're okay. I think he just came down on his foot wrong. It was a good way to catch. Looked like a good catch and must have dropped it. Okay, resetting up. And Creighton taps it in over to Scott. Scott looking. No count. Scott to Super Scott. Super Scott to Jeff. Jeff looking for a long one, but nope. Cut off. And there it is. Bruce cut. Such a hard cut to guard. Good effort, Chase. Jeff to Huck. Here it goes. Luke comes down with it. Luke up to Devin. Devin looking across to Ben. Ben looking up to Rambo. Rambo probably can go back to Ben. Here we go, back to Devin. Devin, we're going to look over to Luke. Nope, hammers it up to Rachel, who doesn't... Oh, she almost had it in her hands and just let it go. Almost, Rachel. Creighton with the disc flicks it over to Ted. Just a little too low. Ted can't get to it. Ted has some hands, and usually, like, even though that's a hard place for him to go, he can get those. So that was just out of his reach that time. Devin for an and Chase throws it on the ground. This ain't a frisbee disc. This ain't a score. This is a frisbee disc. So I threw it on the ground. He almost had that. He should have had that. Scott looking over to Jeff, but Chase is not giving him that angle. Up to Creighton. Creighton looking over. Wow, he gets through it. Bruce comes down with it. Bruce up to Ted, who just can't get to it. It's a little bit too sharp of a turn for him. Rachel, oh, good. Over to Devin. Devin over to Ben. Ben looking deep, fakes, hammers back up, and flicks it back to Devin. Devin just puts it up to where Rachel can get it. Nice job, Rachel. Rambo ready to huck. Looks like they are swapping defense. Luke, I think, will be taking Super Scott, maybe. Or no, taking Tall Scott. Creighton comes down with it, passes up to Jeff, who motions for Super Scott to get moving. Super Scott takes it, passes to Ted. Ted up to Jeff. Jeff looking for the score this time. Over to Bruce. Oh, Bruce turns and takes his eye from the disc and drops it. Devin picks up the disc, looking for Chase to go, but not going. Chase, go! Comes forward. Nope. And flicks it up to Ben, and Bruce was in the way. Ooh. Fakes over to Jeff, but makes it to Creighton, and Creighton over to Scott. Super Scott. Good throw, Creighton. And Luke to come down with it again. Luke over to Devin. This looks familiar. Devin up to Ben. Ben gonna go side over to Rambo. Rambo all alone back here, up to Ben. Ben comes down and looks to flick it back over to Devin. Devin looking at Rachel, who's gonna go for it, and bounces off her hands. It's right there. She had good positioning. Just need to come down with it. That was the only thing. Good job, Rachel. You were right there. Keep up that movement. Bruce over to Super Scott. Super Scott looking for something. Some things are paused. I'm not quite sure why. Okay, play starts again. Super Scott over to Tall Scott. Tall Scott looking deep. Nothing. There you go, over to Devin, who knocks it down. Devin to get the disc, flicks it underneath to Chase. Nice job. And here we go. And it looks like they're going to Kyle it. Kyle! Not even out there. Bruce to Brick. Bruce gets tapped in. Bruce to Scott, Super Scott up to Jeff. Jeff crosses to Bruce. Bruce looking to throw over to Tall Scott. Tall Scott jumps, grabs it. Back up to Bruce. Bruce looking for a dump. Back over to Scott. No one's really moving. No one's giving cuts. Oh. Scott to Jeff. Jeff cannot get to it. Devin picks it up again. Hammers it over to Luke. Luke comes down with it. Well done, Luke. Luke to cross over to Devin, who can get to this one again. And, Devin zings it right through Scott with Rambo as the intended target, but just couldn't get to it. Who is that? Who is that? That looked like Richard getting a touch on the disc. Devin hands it over to Jeff, regrettably. He does not want that, but that's how it goes. Taps it in. Jeff to throw. Looking for a count. Ooh, Rachel. Nice job. Good D. Rachel picks up the disc. Rachel back to Chase. Chase over to Luke. Luke fakes back and passes back to Devin. Devin, looking for the Rachel factor, but gets knocked to the ground. Bruce picks it up over to Tall Scott. Tall Scott back to Jeff, who long bombs it to Super Scott, who comes down with it in the end zone. And here we go. Disc is up. Looks to be Devin who comes down with it. There you go. One hand over to Luke. Luke up to Rambo up the sideline. Probably go back to Luke. There you go. Luke looks up flicks it over to Chase, who's going to be guarded by Scott, who gets to it before Chase does. Oh, that was almost 50-50 disc. Either one of them could have gotten to that one. But this time, Tall Scott gets to it. Jeff picks up the disc, tapping in at the corner. Devin on D. Up to Creighton, who comes down with it. Creighton looking for a throw. Bruce can make that cut. It looks like he's going to go to Bruce. And Scott actually comes down with it instead. And it looks like you have Ted and Bruce. Oh, yep. Come on, go to Ted. Nope. Cuts off the Ted lane. Super Scott comes up and Ben knocks it down. Good D. That was pretty good D for having as many people as you did down there. Luke over to Rambo to Devin, who actually does come down with it this time. Sorry, I don't know if I caught that on camera. I hope I did. Here you go, Devin to pull. Oh, Tall Scott almost gets it. Doesn't quite come down with it. Bruce to come in at the corner. Bruce up to Tall Scott. Tall Scott over to Super Scott. Super Scott to Jeff. Jeff looking for that long run. And there goes Creighton for it, but passes, dumps it back to Tall Scott. Tall Scott looking over to Bruce up the line. No one's going very far, going very fast. Back over to Scott. Scott looks back over to Jeff. Kind of some shuffling around in the back. Bruce making that, wanting to make that long cut. But Chase just not letting him. Tall Scott over to Super Scott. Super Scott brings it down. A little question on the field, looks like. Still in. Not giving him anything, and hammers it over to Bruce, who dives but misses. So close. Not a lot of movement right now. Devin comes to pick it up. Tapped in, long bombs it over to Rachel, but Tall Scott gets in the way. Tall Scott up to Ted. Ted over to Super Scott, who, comes down with it. Very nice. And here goes the pull. Luke comes down. Luke up to Rambo. Rambo back to Devin. Devin over the top to Chase. Chase over to Ben. Ben gonna look to Rambo up the line, but Ted just has that defense right on him. Chase bobbles it, brings it down. Rambo flicks it over to Devin, but Bruce may have gotten a hand on it. Creighton flicks it up to Jeff, and Jeff for the score has Scott just like, I'm just gonna let this float a little bit. He's not rubbing it in at all, and that looks like game. GG, guys. GG.